cases of the 395 filed in that district. So it's just this flood of patent cases being filed in these small town courthouses, and these judges decided, you know what, we're actually more afraid of the backlog of these cases becoming unmanageable than we're fearing COVID becoming unmanageable, because in small towns sometimes they're rather isolated and they haven't had the infection rate that the big cities have had.
How do two judges manage that number of cases, the sheer caseload?
Well, I can only imagine that they live with their hair on fire. They've hired staff, and, like everybody else, last March, when COVID first swamped the country, they closed their courthouses too. They said, we're going to do what we need to do. But then as the infection rate either didn't materialize or remained manageable in their jurisdictions, they said, we got to get back on it. And so Rodney Gilstrap over in Marshall was one of the very first to reopen his courtroom. And he installed great big plexiglass shields around the jury box, and he put a plexiglass box around the witness box, and he socially distanced everybody, and all the lawyers have to wear their masks. And I think only the lawyers who were arguing at the time can be in the courtroom. Everybody else has to be in an adjacent courtroom watching on closed-circuit TV. So they've put in a lot of safety precautions, and they've been doing a lot of testings, and so they're moving forward as quickly as they can. In fact, over in Waco, Judge Albright seems to be on a pace to hold a trial a week, for as far as I can see. He's got one right now underway between two patent litigants. The last time they met was in his courtroom a month ago, and the jury returned a verdict of $2.18 billion against Intel, the big microchip maker.
Now, that was one of the largest patent damage awards in U.S. history, and these are just eye-popping numbers. You talk to jury consultants, is there a reason why these numbers are just so high?
Actually, there is, and it's kind of a confluence of factors. The first one that the jury consultant says is undeniably true is that juries are taking their civic responsibility deathly seriously, because they literally are putting their lives on the line to come into the jury box. So as a result, they're not putting up with any nonsense anymore. If they think that a patent claim is frivolous, they're just going to pour the litigant out. And conversely, if they think that the big tech implementer who's made all the products using somebody else's technology has stolen a little guy's idea, they're going to trounce them. They're going to hammer them. And that's what's been happening over and over again. There's another factor that the jury consultant said is playing an enormous factor, and it's the pandemic itself in these large awards. The jurors' nerves are frayed because they've got all this pent-up frustration from not being able to live their lives for the past year. Now they're being imposed upon to weigh these matters, and as a result, they're just pouring their frustration into these jury awards. I mean, look at what happened to Apple. In the last 7 months in Texas, Apple has gone through 3 jury trials, and all 3 went against them. And looking at that, they were facing a 4th Texas jury last month. They had already picked the jury, and I guess they saw something they didn't like very much in that jury, and they settled. After 7 years of unsuccessful settlement talks with the litigant, they said, no, we're not going to trial. And they cut some kind of a deal that we don't know what the terms are.
Going back to Intel for a moment, explain how that was just the first part of the trial.
This trial has actually been taking place in tranches or stages. The first one happened many years ago, where Intel was determined to have actually infringed on the technology of this little company that goes by its initials, VLSI. So the determination that they've done it was done years ago. Now they've just been arguing about how much Intel owes for the various patents that were infringed. So in the case that happened last month, on this one set of patents, they were found to be liable for almost $2.2 billion.
Let's take a break here.
The judge said, well, it was just too much for one jury to wrap their mind around all these patents presented in one case. So he sliced and diced it up into 3 trials, and the second one is ongoing now, and the third one will take place in June, all of which are occurring in the small town of Waco. And as the jury consultant pointed out, these are small towns. These newspaper headlines are seen by an awful lot of people. The TV talk about them. And as a result, it's sort of acclimating these small town jury pools to these whopping awards. He says, for better or worse, billions is the new million in some of these venues.
Okay. Stop. Okay. Smooth jazz. Let me check. Wait a minute. Sunday morning chair, right? Sunday jazz, right? Let me see. This one?
LH 직원들이 땅 투기 사건으로 대한민국이 발칵 뒤집었습니다. 국민들의 공분이 극에 달해 인터넷에는 LH를 비판하는 댓글들이 수없이 달리고 있습니다.
Okay, let me check the temperature. Wow. You see this one? And the temperature. Oh no, not like this. Okay. 89 degree by Celsius, right? Check it again. 89 degrees by Celsius, right? Okay, wait there. Wait there. And rinse first, and then hot water. right there. Okay, one more. Hey, what's up? Hey, come on. Come on, right. 커피를 마시더라도 그래도 품위 있게 잘 저어서 좌삼삼 우삼삼 좌삼삼 우삼삼. 아, 커피는 한 방향으로 저어야 맛있는데. Okay, with a cup of coffee. 마셔볼까요? 오, 좋아 좋아. 좋습니다. 김이 모락모락 나는 우리 따뜻한 모닝 커피를 마시면서 요거는 휴지는 잘 내야 되겠죠. 휴지는 안에 들어잡아 였고요. 휴지는 right there. 그리고 우리 this book Sleeping with the Enemy by Nancy Price. 제가 이 책은 저가의 동침은 Maybe I bought this book here at the bookstore here Amsterdam International Airport maybe about more than 15 years ago, right? 한 15년 전에 제가 암스테르담 갔을 때 네덜란드 암스테르담 갔을 때 그때 공항에서 샀던 책 같아요. 그때 읽고 그 뒤에 한 번 더 읽고 오늘 아침에 다시 읽으려고 중간에 읽다가 읽으려고 가져왔습니다. 볼까요? 잠깐 페이지가 그때 아침에 내가 읽었던 게 64페이지? 64페이지였었나요? 아침에 읽다가 만 데가 네 64페이지 우리 A까지 읽었었습니다. 이제 9. Okay. The next afternoon, Ben Woodward watched her come across Sierra Boulevard on the crab apple trees, walking a little stiff-legged in shade. Then in sun, then maple shade down Ben Street. A bonnet carrying a big plastic bag. She had nice breast. Oh, nice breast. But the rest of her was all bone. 예, 가슴만 풍성, 나머지는 빼다기. 좀 짐작이 가네요. Sunlight glinted on her short hair. When she saw Ben, she looked away. He pushed his lawnmower up his bank. It was a noxious monster. The brunette looked at the number of the house next to his, then went up steps to ring the bell by Mrs. Nepper's battered screen door. Ben went on moving. He didn't notice he was doing the same grass twice. There was a yellowed, rolled cedar horse sitting in his bridal grass bushes. Ben picked it out and started to read Iowa news that was 2 months old. Mrs. Nepper came to the door of her screened front porch and said, "You come in. You just come right in," to the brunette. When he had his front yard mowed, Ben went into his house and looked at a dirty clothes in a living room chair. He left an empty beer can on the bust of Shakespeare. After a while, he noticed he was like this, right? After a while, he noticed he was crossing from window to open window on his side of the house, watching the press next door. Mrs. Nepper kept her junk stored upstairs and rented the downstairs. Finally, Mrs. Nepper came out and stood on her foot on her front. Wait there. 커피 식어요. 그냥 마시고. 김이 모락모락 나는 모닝커피 너무 좋습니다. 렌즈를 한번 돌려볼까요? 좋습니다. 멋진 조망을 바라보면서 아주 오늘 일요일이라서 모처럼 여유를 가지고 느긋하게 모닝커피를 한 잔 마시면서 풍경을 감상하면서 있습니다. 그리고 중리 바닷가에 가서 책을 좀 읽고 그리고 집으로 가도록 하겠습니다.